What's up everyone, my name's Chris, welcome to the Fan Creations Prop Shop. I'm so sorry it's taken this long to get an actual prop video up. However, good / bad news, bike's off the road, long story short, can't afford the insurance, so it's locked away until such times as I can. So, I can concentrate on prop videos, which is kind of what the whole purpose of this channel was in the first place. I do apologise, there's a 3D print going on at the minute and it's quite loud. But what we're going to be doing in this video here is we're going to be making these Kryptonian keys from Smallville. Now this is the one I'm going to show you how to do today. However, there is also, you can use the exact same kind of method to do the clear green kryptonite kind of version of this key, which I'll get to later on. But for now, we're going to concentrate on making these bad boys. Okay, so here's what you're going to need to basically make this one here. Right, so this is just for the brushed steel one, and this is the green kryptonite one, which I'll come to later on. Right, so what it is, I'll put links in the description for all for the stuff I can find for this. So we have amazing casting resin. I believe that was around £15, so about $18–19 or so. Halford's clear lacquer, I think that's about £8. Wilco's metallic spray paint, that's $6.99. You need yourself a couple of pots to mix in, a couple of medicine pots for resin. To be honest, you can use just chuck away pots that you've kept. Who doesn't love a bit of KFC gravy? Any sort of cheap throwaway brushes and cheap black acrylic paint. And that, all together, is eventually going to come to this. I will say I have cheated a little bit because I do have a mould for this, by the way. Which I took a mould of an actual metal one of these that a friend of mine bought at a Comic-Con that some random metalsmith had made. So I made a mould of that, and we're going to cast these in resin. These are available on my Etsy store, but I'll show you how to make them anyway if you manage to get a hold of a mould or something. Okay, so obviously the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mix up a little bit of resin. We don't need a great deal, and this casting resin is 1-for-1 by volume, alright? It does come with a load of these, but these are cheap enough to get on eBay. I think my missus bought these for, I don't know, £2–3 for like 100. So, I just go by sight on this, to be honest. You can go by weight with this particular resin, but honestly, I don't think it works very well with weight. I think it's actually, it cures quicker and better with just a quick eyeline sight. You have to get kind of low with it though. I think.
Hot dog, I believe we have done it, sir. Splendid.
So, put your resin into 2 little pots there. That might look a bit odd from that perspective, but trust me, it's near as damn it. Okay? So, you then get a secondary pot for mixing in. Now, what I will say is, you don't have a great deal of work time with this resin. You're going to have, I think, maybe 2 or 3 minutes to really get it mixed in. Don't go crazy and get too many bubbles in it, because obviously, although it cures white, currently got this curing at the moment, it's still, yeah, I think that's cured. It will cure white, but the thing is, if you get bubbles in the mould, if it's on the surface of the mould, you're going to have a recess there. So, when you mix this in, the best way to do it is, first of all, be prepared and have something to mix it with. Unlike me, be right back.
6 hours later.
Okay, so I found a mixing stick, or should I say, the Mark 1 standard issue combat pencil. So, straight back to this. All you do, you take your 2 parts of your resin and you just dump them in. Alright, just dump them in, get rid of them into the bin. Work fast, stir. This resin does actually, it's like a thermosetting resin this, so it actually, when it goes off, it starts to heat up. So, if it starts to heat up in your hand, oh, that mould's got fluff in it. If it starts to heat up while it's in your hand, if you feel the cup heating up, you know you're running out of time to work with this. So you really need to get a wriggle on and get it poured. So, we're going to go for, I hope to God this works, The reason I use paper cups is so you can pinch them like this and then pour with a nozzle sort of thing. Pour from a bit of a height, and what you'll find is that that'll prevent too many bubbles from building up. He says optimistically. That's actually worked very well. So there we go. You just pour that in like so. Where the hell is it? There it is. If you can, you want to kind of like tap the mould a bit, get any bubbles out that might be there. If there's any surface bubbles, you can hit them with a lighter. But that is about the cure. Okay, so the resin's cured now. This resin actually cures in about 10, maybe 20 minutes to really go off. But I've left this overnight, just to be certain. So, you don't want to just go and go tearing into it like some sort of idiot, alright? So what you want to do is very gently kind of just break the seal of air around the edges. You're not going to really cause any damage, but to be honest with you, it's the silicone mould that you're more concerned about damaging. So when that comes out, it's hard to pick it up with the lighting in here, but you can just about see. There is a couple of surface bubbles you can see like there, just here. But that's not a problem. We're going to always sand them out, and we're going to paint it anyway. So I've sanded the back down a bit, obviously just to take some of those surface bubbles off, so that's nice and smooth now. But it's very hard to see on the camera. It's got kind of a almost. See if I can get the light to hit it right. No, I'm not going to get to. There's almost like a very scratchy quality to it, but I've done it all in one direction. I've also done the same thing on the surface with the little Kryptonian details on here, but I've done this a lot lighter. I haven't really gone to town on this, and that's just basically all you do. It's just to kind of, just to give it that brushed metal look all in one direction, because when you weather this, you're going to weather it all in one direction as well. But again, we'll cover that later on. So once you've done all your sanding and you're satisfied with the surface, like I say, you want to get some primer on this. Don't go crazy with the primer, because obviously you'll lose a lot of detail, but just enough primer to help the paint adhere, but we'll show you that in a second. Alright guys, so it's been a couple of days. I'm not doing this all in one go. So again, just to remind you, this is the look we're going for with the brushed aluminium. So without the weathering effect, I've primed it and sprayed it silver. You don't really need to see us doing that. It's primer, you spray it, silver, you spray it. It's not rocket surgery. You can see the scratches on there. It looks worse than what it is on this camera. That's meant to be to replicate the direction of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the grain, for want of a better phrase. So what I do is, to make my weathering, I get just cheap black acrylic, and I mix in kind of like a yellow and a flesh tone, just to give the wash a bit of like more of a dirty grey kind of, where's me? Like a grey kind of colour rather than a black. So you're on a wide brush, like so, nice flat wide brush. Dip that in. Now first things first, all these little details, alright, you just want to slap the paint on the details. Ignore the grain and everything for now, just ignore all of that. Right, you're just going to get some paint into those details to pick them up. You need to add more. It doesn't matter if you're caking it on, and then just brush in the same way you've done your sanding for. There we go. Oh, son of a bitch. Right, that was 2 minutes. See, this isn't prop building unless you make a mistake and then you have to go back and rectify it. So, what I've done essentially, this is like, so, put a little bit too much paint on, but that's the beauty with acrylic paint, right? You can just wipe it, right? And the thing is, if you do a poxy job of wiping it off, it just goes towards being your weathering. So, that in itself there isn't all that awful. It's picked up the Kryptonian text details, but right, I still want to have that grain effect. So looking at that like that, you take your brush and you're almost dry brushing. You just, with that grain, I know it's not perfect, it doesn't have to be, don't worry about it. Right, and then what you do is take some kitchen roll or whatever it is that you're wiping it with and wipe it in one direction. Alright. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect because nothing in reality is absolutely perfect once like that. It's been used, so it's been soiled and it's been scratched. I know this isn't the best view, I'm sorry, but just keep going over it until you get it right. Eventually, you know, I think that's way too much, but if you just give it a quick thing like so. Just gonna so again, it's not perfect, but it gives you that kind of brushed metal kind of effect. So I've knocked 2 of these up. That's the kind that we're going for. So before, nice and clean. Afterwards, oh, I'll catch the light now. There we go. Kind of brushed. And that's it, guys, we're all done. Thanks again for watching this video. I understand it wasn't the most exciting prop build in the world. It was kind of pouring resin in a mold and painting it. I will be bringing you some more content like that. I'm just kind of finding my feet. If anything, this was just kind of an experiment for me to see if I'm able to do the prop builds and the painting and the weather and all that sort of stuff, as well as filming and editing all on my own. And so far, I'm not doing a great job, but sorry it's taken as long as it has to get here, and that it's kind of all over the place. The format's a bit weird. I'm still finding my feet. I'm more than happy for any constructive criticism though. Just drop that down below. Any questions, comments, queries, suggestions, absolutely anything at all. That's what the comment section's for. Drop it down there. Guys, thanks again, like I said, for watching this. I very much appreciate your views. If you would like to see more, subscribe, give me the thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next one. Just remember though, guys, don't be afraid to live and love your fandom.
Goodbye, moon man. Say goodbye.